Okay, I had to adjust my camera. What's up, collective? I am unconventional Jack. I hate that this is like this. But anywho, let's get started. So whether you're watching this now or you're catching this later, and hold on, y'all. Or you're catching this later at a later time, I'm gonna get started. Okay. So I'm just gonna just deal some cards. Okay. I'm gonna use my Strongman Oracle deck. Okay, it's created by me. One of many decks. Okay. So let's get started. Alright, Spirit, what's going on with the collective? This is like a spare of the moment thing, okay? Let's have some fun. And if you feel like this message is for you, you can still email me for the set prices here. Like I said in the thumbnail and in the detailed section here, description. I got the 1111, what blocks you and what frees you reading. I also have tonight the $22 reading, which is the karmic wheel. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune energy. Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio. Okay, we're gonna start with Taurus because Taurus is what kicks it off. Okay, it's the fixed energy that comes after Aries. So, and if you notice, I said all four fixed signs, which is the cross. Okay, that's the army of the zodiac energy. So, Taurus asks you, what have you collected? Okay. Leo asks you, how did you stand publicly? Did you stand the truth? Scorpio asks you, how did it transform you? What did you release? And Aquarius asks you, okay, now that you know, what is your reward? What do you deserve? So, hi, Aries. So let's get started. Oh. Alright, so the first card that I have here is the double-minded energy. So the core wounds of the double-minded energy is fear of commitment. There's a deck that I have where it has an image of the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is indecision. Stuck in between a rock and a hard place energy. And fear of commitment. In the image, there's a woman standing behind the door in a wedding dress and a guy standing on the other side of the door. It looks like they were about to get married or something, and somebody was having they were second guessing. So this double-minded energy is wavering between two truths, two paths, two masters, okay? It's indecision, and it has become your identity, okay? So this is a blockage. And for most of you, this is what you're collected. This is what you have collected. This is the energy that you stand in, okay? So let's keep going. All right. False light. Okay. This is the next card. This is the Leo energy. Because remember, the axis is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Again, Taurus asks you, what have you collected? Leo asks you, how did you stand publicly? Did you stand in truth? Okay, this is the card that we're on, Leo. And it's false light. So we have the core room here is mistaken charisma for truth. So this is somebody who's not being their authentic self. It says you followed what glittered, not what guided. You confused energy for authenticity. So this is how you stand in publicly. Some people are confusing your energy for authenticity. But the whole while you have a mask on. So this could be you, right? Or this could be you're the one holding the gun, or you're on the other side of the gun. Alright? So let's pull another card. So we got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio. Now remember, Scorpio asks, what transformed? What changed you? Scorpio asks you, what have you released? Hoarding. Scarcity mindset. A fear mindset. And this is what you're being called to release. See, this double-minded energy is what you're hoarding. This is what you're holding on to, like the Four of Pentacles. It says you cling to what weighs you down. Accumulation feels like safety, but traps your energy. Okay? And what do you deserve? Aquarius. Now that you know these things, what is your reward? The Cosmic Key. This is beautiful. Card number 87. Because you feel locked out of higher truths. Fear and doubt guard a door that was always yours. Okay. So the key has always been within you. Unlock the gate. So let's start from the beginning. I want to know, with this energy that you've collected in this Taurus energy, how did double-mindedness come apart of what you collected? What made it okay for you to hold this energy and wear it like a badge of honor? Double-mindedness. Okay, you got a Page of Pentacles. And that's the Hangman holding the Page of Pentacles. Wheel of Fortune with the Death card at this top of the Destiny wheel, and I knew I was going to see that again. I'm going to show you these cards, okay? I'm using the Shuffled Tarot deck. And the Knight of Cups. Oh, this is two cards. I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to take just this top one. Alright. So what happened in this Taurus energy? And this had to be, Taurus is a young energy. So you got Aries, that's the infant. Okay, then you got Taurus, that's like the next stage toddler, like 1 to 2 to 3-year-old energy. Yeah, we know toddlers don't like to share. Yeah, most grown people don't like to share, you know. But we're dealing with this Taurus energy. What have you collected? And again, the card is the double-minded energy. Clarifying this energy is the Page of Pentacles with the Hangman here holding the pentacle. You got the Wheel of Fortune here. Death card. You got a child here, a dead king or a fallen king. The Strength card, lady, without her lion, without her roar, you know, she ain't even got no confidence. Look at her. Then you got the Hierophant here. trying to offer you something. Then you got the Knight of Cups. And see, and this is a water card, but where's the water? There's no water here. This is dry. Could be fire. Could be, what is it? Yeah, I'm going to say fire. So, let's read. So, what happened? Your perspective got changed at an early age. You started thinking of ways to protect yourself. And you probably thought to yourself that, hey, I see the truth, but let me give another part of me, another side of me that's not me. Let me put on this mask. This is you offering up that Page of Pentacles. But this hangman here in this image, this is you also saying, okay, look, I got an idea. Because your core wound is fear of commitment. Something blocked you from committing to being your authentic self. And this is how you stand in childlike energy, okay? Presenting yourself to the world, to situations or situationships, at work, in the public, period. This is how you're viewed. Now the Wheel of Fortune here, this explains what all you dealt with over time, because this is the fixed cross. You got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So something happened in your childhood. Something happened in your childhood to where you decided, okay, I'm going to keep myself small. This was your way of thinking in this hangman energy. And this is how you was going to present yourself. This is you. I'm going to keep myself small. I don't know if you were surrounded by a bad father figure maybe. I don't know. But this is a fallen king here. I don't know if you witnessed bad leadership in a church or in a cult. And also, this energy here in Aquarius, she represents truth and femininity. It could have been feminine energy around you that just couldn't stand in truth, didn't have the strength or the courage to stand in truth. But it tainted your perspective on how you view things. And you was like, I'm going to stay small. I'm going to play dumb. I'm going to wear a mask. Okay? And look, I'm going to move slow through the whole thing. I'm not going to give my true self, my true emotions. But what I do give is going to be dry. It's not going to be authentic. Because the Knight of Cups is not there's no water, like I said. This is sand. It's giving fire energy. So you appearing hasty, but you're really Knight of Cups. So you've been called to understand that clarity is power, okay? And you have to pick a frequency and walk in it. Once you identify what fear is feeding your hesitation, let's as a matter of fact, let's find out what fear is feeding the hesitation. What's this fear behind all this? a lot of control freak energy, because you got control freak. Now, like I said, you can be the one holding the gun, or you could be on the opposite side of the gun now. Okay? This could have been something that you have witnessed. Okay? Here. Throughout your life. Okay? Starting with Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. This could have been energy that you witnessed. Control freak energy. Core wound. Fear of surrender. Okay? This fear, this double-minded energy is fear of commitment, but with this control freak energy here as well, which breaks down to a number 4, okay, which is a pentacle energy. So all of this is really in alignment. It says you overplan reality to protect yourself from uncertainty. You overplan reality to protect yourself from uncertainty. This is why fear of commitment is here. You're addicted to knowing outcomes. So surrender is wisdom. Let it unfold. It's okay to sit in pain, because you have to know that you ain't going to sit there long. Sometimes you got to go, you got to walk down that 8 mile. You got to walk down that road. You got to let it unfold. That's why the card says pick a frequency and walk in it. But however you walk, make sure that you're walking in truth, right? What would happen if you stop needing control? So this is you holding the book. So what would happen if you ever stop needing to control the outcome of a situation? Ask yourself that. Because that's the fear that's feeding your hesitation. Okay, I'm going to put this here. Alright, so the Leo energy, the false light. This is how you stood publicly. Okay? Core wound. Mistaken charisma for truth. You confused energy for authenticity. You see, this is how you became the control freak. So, not every bright thing is divine. Discern again. And see, this is how you stood publicly. People had to discern you again. So, what you thought you was hiding, you really wasn't hiding. You know, it's some people that really see you in this false light energy. Okay? Let's see. Okay, it's not working. So, with that being said, you having to ask yourself, where did you accept deception because it felt spiritual? Because your deception came from a fear of commitment. So let's see. Let's get a backstory behind this. So you got the 5 of Pentacles. You got the 2 of Cups and the High Priestess energy. And again, this is the Shuffled Tarot deck. So the 5 of Pentacles. In this image, you got like, this look like a, this could be the 10 of Pentacles energy. Because you got the family here. Could be the 10 of Cups as well. But, let me show you again. You see how everybody's working together to put the shattered glass back, right? The 2 of Cups energy. This Two of Cups is missing the female. But this is the Two of Wands energy. This is the guy from the Two of Wands holding the Two of Cups. Again, this is the shuffled tarot deck. This is where the images are shuffled. Okay? This is why I'm going through the images. I'm reading the images. And, you know, the element of the card. So, this is the water energy. Now, got a major arcana here, the High Priestess, but that's not the High Priestess. This is the guy from the Chariot. And his foot is on the wheel. That says a lot. What this says to me, there are moments where you want to come out of the cold. Okay? And you want to heal. You want to pick up the pieces. But it's parts of you that don't want to participate. It's like you know what you need to do. Yeah, see? It's parts of you that don't want to participate because everybody got feminine and masculine energy within themselves. Your feminine energy is like, no. No. So you're shielded. And your masculine energy is standing right and thinks that it's right for sure. Just as sure as this Chariot guy has his foot on, he broke the wheel. This is saying, forget what I know. Forget the subconscious. Forget the intuition. You shushed your intuition and you was like, no. This is where you accepted deception in the Chariot energy. Because the Chariot, they take control of the reins. They, you know, if you look at the Chariot card, which I don't have, but he's in the Chariot, this man right here, and he's holding the reins, controlling the horses, and it moves fast. But you saying, look, my foot, I'm sitting down, I'm stretching the intuition. I got my foot on the wheel. This is some bold energy here. Mind made up too. So that's that Leo energy. This is how you standing publicly. This is the false light. Wanting to stand in authenticity. Wanting to stand righteous. But not participating. Because this energy that you're in, you're comfortable. Okay, you're comfortable in this seat. Because it feels spiritual to you. Okay, now hoarding. This is the Scorpio card. This is what you're needing to release. So when I just saw Charlie Brown, y'all. Y'all know Charlie Brown when he gets ready to kick that football, and it's like he's going back and forward. And it's like it's just taking so damn long to kick that football. Well, is it Charlie Brown or the Peanuts? I don't know. So you deal with indecision heavily. And you're so used to controlling outcomes. And it's this High Priestess energy, it states that with the foot on the wheel, with the Chariot guy here, with his foot on his wheel. So all of this stems from a scarcity mindset, and which is a fear mindset. It says you cling to what weighs you down. Accumulation feels like safety, but traps your energy. Your energy is trapped. You feel like because you can control the situation, that you're free, but you're not. You're actually trapped. And this is what you're being called to release. So once you release this energy, it's going to make room for overflow. And it's going to clear you to be able to really receive. Okay? Really receive. So what clutter is blocking your increase here? Well, so we know what clutter is blocking your increase. I want to know, what is your increase? Once you release this energy. So you got the Star card here, but you got the Hermit. Okay, some of you guys are Virgo risings, Virgo North nodes. I know a lot of Virgo North nodes and Virgo risings that struggle to materialize that energy. Okay? Or shall I say, they struggle to walk in the frequency of the energy of Virgo North Node, Virgo rising, in a elevated high frequency way. Okay? So, or it could be an Aquarius. You know, could just be stuck. Good and stuck. Because we saw the foot, okay, on the wheel. Mine made up. All 4 fixed signs are stubborn. All of them. Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and what's the other one? Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius. All 4 signs are stubborn. But with this Star card here, the increase is, let me get me 2 more cards. Wow, we got the Emperor twice. So we got the Hermit and the Star, the Chariot and the Emperor, the Fool and the Emperor. Some of y'all are so freaking wise. If you're watching this video, you are a wise soul, and I want you to know personally, okay, I'm talking to you. You holding yourself back. This is some strong ass energy. You holding yourself back, but yet you think you're in control because you're comfortable. No. Surrendering to wisdom, okay, is your increase. Standing in hope, being inspired, letting life and your path just unfold before the very feet that you use to walk on the path, trusting that every step that you take is ordered, knowing in solitude that you're covered, knowing that as long as I'm standing in truth, that's all I am, that's all I got. You know what I'm saying? Hope, because what is hope? This is evidence of things that are not seen. It makes you fearless, but it makes you someone that's unafraid. But see, fear is the core of the reading. Because what was the core one? Fear of surrender. And then fear of commitment. But when you step out of this energy, your reward is you standing in energy that's gonna make you someone that's so inspiring. But you're gonna see yourself in another light, right? Because you're in isolation here. But people are actually going to look up at you like they look up at the stars. They're going to admire you. They're going to like how you move. They're going to like how you shine. You're going to shine just as bright as the sun, but in your own way. Because in your mind, like the stars, like Aquarius say, I don't need a lot of light. And I shine the brightest amongst others. You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm shining with others. But you gonna shine bright. You see that bright star? That's you. You have a lot of fun. Some of y'all are teachers, influencers. You may have a platform. You're influential. You got. I don't know where you working at, but wherever you at, you think people ain't watching you. And see, I said that earlier in this false light. It's people that see you and they know that you're not being your authentic self. They know that it's more to you than what you put out there. They know you stubborn. They see you. They waiting on you to come out too. Because they see you as the emperor. See these two cards? You got emperor here twice. You are a strong, fearless leader. And how I know you fearless though. You know how bold you gotta be to sit in the high priestess chair in this chariot energy, and you got your foot on the wheel. You don't broke the wheel. This is like a gavel. I'm hearing a gavel. Hey, look. You ain't in your place because you supposed to be here. This is the chariot. He's sitting in the high priestess seat. You know what I'm saying? See, this is the false light energy. So, you taking a stand in righteousness and your authentic energy. It's actually going to put you in a place where you're not going to be afraid to be the emperor, to be the leader. Like I said, you're going to be so fearless, you're not going to give a damn what nobody say. It's like, fuck what you heard, what you know type of energy. Careless, free. I move how I want to move. I move without even judging myself or listening to the judgment of others, because other people's opinions don't affect me. And I don't need people to validate me. Okay? So, but once you step into this energy, then there's the cosmic key for you. Okay? It says, you feel locked out of higher truths. Fear and doubt guard a door that was always yours. But see, but you know it though. And people see it. It was always yours. But you just felt the need to control. Because you was protecting yourself. You was protecting yourself in this energy. You call yourself shielding yourself. And so this is the energy that you hoarded. But you've been called to release. Okay, this energy that you've been holding. So the key has always been within you. You just got to unlock the gate. Get up. Get up. Be the emperor. Be the emperor. Balance out your energy. So, what inner fear keeps you from stepping through. Let's see. What is the poor inner fear that keeps you from stepping through? Wow. Now, if it's me, it'll come back out. Because I feel like I ain't shuffled this good. What inner fear keeps you from stepping through? Resentment. This is unprocessed anger. You hold on to hurt like armor. Where they call it. See how angry you had to be angry to break your own damn wheel to your chariot. You see what I'm saying? You refuse to release what wounded you. What wounded you. Okay? This is what wounded you, and it started early, like I said here. A lot of disappointments. You was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm straight on that. I'm gonna stay small. Okay? I'm gonna move when I want to move, how I want to move, slow. Okay? Or play the field. You know what I'm saying? With this fire, with this desert back here. Because you ain't near no water. It's a fire setting. You're going to have to let the pain move through you. You didn't grieve this. You probably ain't cried about it. You didn't grieve it. Once you grieve it, it will leave you. Because you done normalized anger here. So, it's a ritual at the bottom of this card. It says, hold a real key or symbolic object to your heart and say this. I open the gates of my divine destiny now. You're going to imagine the lock turning and the door swinging wide open. And what you're going to have to do is stand up. Come out of this seat, okay? Take your seat and lead fearlessly, okay? Because, honey, you've been vacationing for a little too long, honestly. All that wisdom, all that light, all that knowledge. You need it out here. So let's see, what does your soul want you to know? What does your soul want you to know? Your soul wants you to know that you need to tear down the walls around your heart. Give and receive security and warmth. Tear down the walls around your heart. Grieve. Cry out. Let's see. Let's give you an inner peace card. I don't know how many people are in your life now. To receive, you must release. What can you let go of? What do you want to receive? And you need to understand that everyone is on their own journey too, okay? How can you focus more on your own path? Because that comparison part came out earlier. So some of you might be comparing your path to others. So these are some hard truths that you're having to sit with here, okay? So this is your reward, though. I was looking for, here it is. I'm gonna leave you with an angel message from Archangel Michael. And I will be closing this out. I'll do this again, okay? It says, don't settle for less. You are a child of the divine and you deserve to have your dreams come true. Don't give up. Don't give up on you. Don't give up on your calling. Okay? Go through your transformation. Release whatever don't serve you. Okay? I am Unconventional J. And this is the reading. Okay, if you're interested in a reading, it still stands. Just email me. Everything is in the description. Okay, I'm going to close this out. Y'all have a good night.